Hello, this is Snark66. I'm sorry I haven't made any videos lately, but I'll try harder to do more. I've seen a lot of videos about people explaining why they're atheists. I thought I'd share my story. When I was a child, my parents didn't take me to church, didn't tell me to read the Bible, didn't make me say grace before every meal. We never really talked about religion in my family. My dad was raised in a strict Christian family. His parents were devoutly Christian, always attended church, said grace, and so on. They lived down the street from us, so I was exposed to Christianity quite regularly. My mom never had any strong beliefs in religion, though her parents were Catholic and Protestant. However, she was brought up in a secular household. My parents told my dad's parents that my sister and I were being brought up to make our own decision about faith. We were free to explore our religions as much as we wanted, make our own decision about what we believed in. When I was young, I always knew about God, but never saw any reason to believe in him. I didn't believe in Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, or the Tooth Fairy from a very young age, and I grouped God with them. As I grew older, I was deeply interested in science, and always read science books. I loved nature, watched animals, looked at plants, looked at the stars, and just enjoyed science. I understood from a young age what science is, how it works, and how it is very logical. I hungered for more and more knowledge. I became interested in world history and cultures, and read about many different countries. I became interested in religions from a cultural point of view, not a believer's point of view. I thought religions were important in helping shape cultures, but I never believed in any of them. I saw some good in religions, but I also saw the persecution. I also saw how religions often ignore the reality of the world. I read a bit of the Bible, but it seemed to me to be like a fantasy novel written with archaic language. In university, I studied physics and astronomy. The universe is definitely vast, but all natural. At this point, I never associated myself with any religious groups. I didn't refer to myself as atheist or agnostic. I just carried on with my life without thinking about it. Why think about something I didn't believe existed? During this time, I had an interesting experience while in a bookstore. A woman came up to me, noticed I was reading an astronomy magazine, and started talking to me about how beautiful the universe is, and that God creates such beauty. It was after this time that I started thinking about how people seem to assume everyone else believes in the same things they do. I knew I was an atheist at this time. Then comes YouTube. Many loud creationists make their homes here and spread misinformation about science, insisting that things like cosmology and evolution are lies. I defend the integrity of science. I don't push my atheism on people, as I don't really care what someone believes. They can believe what they want, but when someone pushes their beliefs on me, I will defend myself. And if anyone wants to convince me that God is real, they must provide some pretty strong evidence to back up their claims. I will respect their beliefs, and I would hope they'd respect mine. I'm glad I live in a country where people respect others' religious beliefs. Thank you for watching.